Hey friends, today we're going to talk about how to make money before you do the work. So the big question is this: how is a tiny percentage of entrepreneurs blow the pack away? What are they doing that we're not? I asked myself that question for 10 years. I was failing forward and getting sick of it. I wanted to build a coaching business, but couldn't make any headway. So I started studying them. I realized that the world's most elite marketers, entrepreneurs, and gurus were all using the same 4-step system. I call it the authority factor. On the show, I'm going to prove to you that the authority factor worked for them and it'll work for you. My name is Ken Dunn. Let's get started. All right, friends, welcome back. I want to jump into a little conversation with you right now about probably the biggest reason that most people who get the idea to start a coaching business, why they fail or why they stop. And I think that if any of my shows have ever helped somebody to start a coaching business, this might be the most important show for anybody that is serious about it. Or if you've started a coaching business, but you're not happy with the money you're making, you're not happy with where things are going in your coaching business, there are things that you're unsettled about, this is the one thing that you should do. This is like the right way to start a coaching business. So in the shows on this channel, you'll see lots of information about the steps that I take my students through when they launch their businesses. One of the very first things that I get everybody to do, and I do myself at the beginning of every year, is I create a client journey. So at the beginning of every year, it's kind of like a renewal of my business plan. I just sit back for a few minutes and I say, okay, who do I want to serve? Who's my ideal client? This is what you should do, by the way. And where am I taking them? What is the outcome? And for me, my ideal client is you, obviously, but it's people who have coaching businesses, or they want to start coaching businesses, and they want to write books, and they want to have courses, and they want to get to 7 figures. And that's the end of my client journey. Well, there's no real end, but that's in this first phase, it's getting to $1 million a year. So I think about that first. Then what do? Is I go back and I write out all the steps that they need to take. And it should be a big plan, right? Because this is your entire business. This is not what you're going to build your products and services around, but it's really important for you to get crystal clear. This would be the client journey the framework that you would use to write a book on the subject. So you'd say, okay, what are the steps in the journey? And you write them out. And I would strongly encourage you to grab a piece of paper and do this with me. You write them out: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, however many steps are. Then you go back and you write out in each step, do a data dump. Just write out a whole bunch of bullet points of everything that you can think of that you could possibly want to teach in that subject. Okay, so once you got that done, here's the magic. This is where, and I guarantee you most people who start coaching businesses never do this, but this is how you figure out what to sell first and how to start making money fast. The next step, once you've got that created, you basically look at the first third of that overall client journey and you ask yourself, what is something that's in this part of the journey that I am absolutely more qualified than I ever need to be to teach this? I can teach this to anybody. I've done this myself. I've already helped people with it. But what's the thing that's in there that I can teach people? And here's the most important part. It's almost like a drum roll. They have to get a result within 7 to 14 days. They have to get a result within 7 to 14 days. That is your first program. That's your first online course. That's the first thing you're going to sell. That's your first information product. When I did this back in the day, I had actually struggled. I made the mistake. When I first decided that I was going to launch a coaching business, I built a program that included everything that somebody should do. It was called First 1,000 Books. And it was basically, I was teaching people how to write books and how to launch coaching businesses. And I was teaching them how to write their book, how to turn it into a course, how to do live videos, how to do social media posting, how to do email marketing, how to do Facebook ads, and all this stuff in this same course. And I did what everybody does. Like, I built the course first. It took me 4 months to record all the videos and put all the videos into that members area and get it all ready to start marketing. And then I started running Facebook ads and trying everything I possibly could to get people to buy the course. And I struggled for 6 months, almost 7 months. I spent over $40,000 on Facebook ads trying to get people to show up. And I'm good at what I do, and I knew that back then, but for some reason, I couldn't get anybody to buy. Luckily, I had money to weather the storm because I would have quit. I would have had to. I would have had to go on to do something else to make money for my family. But I had a mentor at the time. His name was Russell Brunson, one of the greatest marketers in the world. And so I asked Russell his thoughts on this, and he says, well, you're trying to teach people too much. So what is something you can teach them that they're going to get a result in less than 14 days? And I said, writing a book. I already teach people how to write books. They can write books in 72 hours. And they're all blown away by it. He says, build a course around that and your business will explode. And he said, and so I did that and it started selling. And it changed my life forever. But then I started teaching people how to build coaching businesses. And I started to see people doing the same thing, making the same mistake. And so I thought, how can I do this faster? What's an easier way to do it? And it hit me one day. I was building a new program on how to build an online course. And instead of building the program first, I figured out the framework. So I wrote out, what are the steps in the journey? What are the modules that I want to do in the course? And then I started posting on my social media channels. And all I said in the post was, building an online course is not easy. I want to take a group of people, 5 to 10 people, through a process that I've created where I can build an online course in less than 14 days, launch it in less than 30 days, and start making money with it. If you're interested in joining me every day for 30 days on Zoom, type info in the chat. And so what I would do is I actually, when they typed info, I sent them a private message. I got on the phone with them and I explained what I was going to do. And I told them I was going to sell the program for $897. But if they were willing to join me on Zoom for 30 days, they would see me do it. I'd walk them through and explain the whole thing to them. They could do it at the same time. And I'd do it for 50%. So $497. And I'd give them the course when it was finished. And so I'd basically be recording the content with them, but I was making money up front. Friends, in less than a week from organic posting, I had 20 people that paid $500. I made $10,000 before I built the course. Are you getting this? That's the secret. If you're launching a coaching business right now, use that. Since that worked so well, I've made it the centerpiece of my entire business. I've taught 500 people how to frame out their whole business, figure out exactly what their business is all about, figure out what that client journey is, what are the steps in the journey, and then find that one thing that they can start teaching right away and do it. I call it a beta launch. Do a beta launch with it. Start posting on social media and see what it's all about. And now I've taken that to even higher levels. So I'm building a new program right now. It's called Build Your Following. It shows people how to create a content loop on social media. So you can post, you can be omnipresent on social media, post everywhere. You can see other videos in the show that explain this process. But I'm doing a workshop on Wednesday night where I'm going to explain it to people, how this actually works, and show them how to do it. I'm going to offer them the exact same thing. I'm building a course called Build Your Following. It's going to include how to launch a podcast, how to do live videos, how to do this, how to do that, your own YouTube channel. Everything is going to be there. And I want to build it with you. I'm going to offer them a 6-week coaching program where they're going to join me on Zoom for 6 weeks, and I'm going to help them all to set up their podcasts, their YouTube channels, learn how to shoot video, how to edit the videos, how to turn that into social media content. They're going to get it all hands-on, live in small groups. And then I'm going to record the course during this time, and I'm going to give it all to them. Then I'm going to start selling it for $897. And that's it. That's the secret. So friends, the moral to the story is, if you're seriously interested in starting a coaching business, take the time to figure out what's the client journey, what's the framework of your business. Then go back to that framework and find your first product. Remember, they have to be able to get a result with it within 7 to 14 days. The reason for that is they're going to want to buy more from you when that happens. They're going to get the result. They're going to be like, man, I want to go further on the journey with him or with her. It'll change your life forever. It's the easiest way to launch a business. You can start making money faster. You get a live group of students in a group program that you can start teaching your framework to. You can ask them all for video testimonials. You'll get everything you need if you just launch the program first. Hey friends, thanks for being here on the show today. Listen, if you really enjoyed the show, then I gotta tell you, there are hundreds of other shows just like this that will teach you everything you need to know about building an online business wrapped around helping other people. I focus completely on teaching people how to build coaching businesses. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so you know when new shows are live. And because you're here with me right now, as a special invitation, I'm hosting an online workshop where I'm teaching people exactly how to build a coaching business. Well, what I'm going to show you is how I've built an 8-figure coaching business working exclusively right here from my home office. And it's a 4-step system. How to build your following and move those people to your email list and then start selling your products and services to them. If you want to join the workshop, all you have to do is go to authorityfactor.info. I put that URL in the show's notes. Make sure you check it out.